Borgen is and will forever be a very, very special part of my life. I had no hesitation coming back. Wow, that's a good question. Well, Borgen is and will forever be a very, very special part of my life because I had almost just left drama school when I got the part, so it was one of the first things I did. So it profiled me first in Denmark and then in the world, and it became such a surprise to all of us that it traveled the way it did. We had no idea. The Killing was just before us, and that was a pretty big hit as well. But the producers said to us when we started Borgen, this will not be as big a hit because it's politics, people don't care that much, and it will not travel because it's local. And then just the opposite happened, and it was such a surprise. But I'm so proud to have been part of it. It's changed my life forever. It's given me opportunities to work abroad, which I wouldn't have dared to otherwise. It's brought my attention to the real world. You know, growing up and in drama school, I was so interested in the artistic world. But now I have huge interest in society and politics. So it's broadened my world in every sense. I've wondered about that because it is a bit of a mystery because it's people from all over the world who have very different ways of governing. What I think is, and it's my theory, is because the nature of a coalition politics is compromise. It's an essential part of how they get things done. And I think that's a very recognizable concept, no matter what your political situation is. And the compromises also happen in the private lives of the characters. So that's my best theory. And then at the time, it was also still quite refreshing to see the strong female characters. I think it's difficult for me to really know, but I think we enjoy watching characters who fight for what they believe in, who don't take no for an answer, who's not afraid to cause some trouble. And for me, it was also interesting to see the development of Katrine because in the beginning, she's still also quite young, very idealistic. The world is a bit more black and white for her. And then, especially in season 4, where, you know, everybody's aged 10 years, she's also in a different place. And the nuances and the gray areas are becoming more clear to her. And she's also so fun to see this very idealistic character who, when she was just a reporter, she would yell at the management and, you know, this is not good enough. And then when she becomes the boss, she realizes it's not so black and white when you're in charge. There's so many different aspects you have to consider. So for me, it was great to watch her go through that period as well, and to grow up. I had no hesitation coming back. It's been such a special show to me. We never dreamed there would be any more, so it was just a fantastic present for all of us. And in one of the first scenes in the first episode of season 4, Katrine comes back to TV1, and you can see the smile on my face when I look at Søren Malling, who plays Torben Friis. It's for real. It was like, oh my God, all my best friends are back here together. I don't have any information about a season 5. I'm sorry, I haven't heard anything. It would be fun, but I have no idea. It didn't feel differently when we were shooting it. It felt like the same. It reaches, you know, so many more people. What was fantastic for us when Netflix also bought the first 3 seasons, all of a sudden, especially in South America, such a huge audience sort of came on board. So, and you know, when you've done something and you're proud of it, of course you want as many people as possible to watch it. So I'm just thrilled for that opportunity. I think it would also depend on, you know, what is going on in this season. And also my life has changed. I have a family now, so there would be many things to consider. But Borgen will forever be a part of my life, so it would be difficult for me to say no to. From the moment I read the first synopsis, I could tell that the writers and the producers of Dark Horse, they were really willing to go very deep into the darker nature of human beings and to the toxic relationship between a mother and a daughter. And Eva is a quite extreme character. She's very self-absorbed. Her own emotions sort of shadows everything, so she's not aware of how other people are feeling. And when we did the initial research, we talked about maybe she's undiagnosed bipolar, maybe. So I did a little bit of investigation into that, and I think it explains a lot to why she comes from a small town and she never fit in. She was always the dark sheep in the family. She was too much. She was too outgoing, too many boyfriends, too many everything. So she, you know, left home when she was quite young, and she's sort of protected herself from the rest of the world by, the second something becomes a little bit of a problem for her, she just flees. And then she had Anna when she was quite young, and she became her partner in crime. They're very close together, very intertwined. And now because Anna is so big and she needs to break away from Eva, it's a very natural process. But because they've been each other's everything, it's a very painful process for both of them. Objectively, no, Eva is not a good mother. She's the best mother she can be. She's always felt like she was alone in the world. Nobody really understood her. Nobody accepted her for who she was. She's coped with struggles very poorly. She chose alcohol or pills to calm herself. I think, if she was diagnosed today, people would say she's been self-medicating in order to cope. But clearly it's incredibly toxic and very destroying for her daughter. And I think it says something about the strength of Anna, that she's actually able to find herself in all of this chaos. It's not easy for her. She's also very dependent on her mother. And it's because Eva has such an emotional grab on her, and she can play into her guilt, and she uses all of the dirty tricks to get her way. And it's so difficult for Anna to break away, but she still manages to hear her own voice in this. Something inside of Anna says, this is not right. And then she, makes dumb decisions about how to deal with that. But I think overall, I'm relieved that Anna is able to find her own feet. We actually had quite a few workshops prior to shooting with Josephine, who plays Anna, and Caroline, the director, where we did some of the key scenes. We also did it in the auditioning process. They wanted to make sure that we were paired, in a good way, which makes perfect sense. Working with Josephine was a very natural thing for me. She's a very naturally gifted young actress. She has a lot of experience because she's done, TV since she was a child, but she's kept this very natural instinct. And because we are 20 years apart, so I could be her mother, and I felt like it was not at all difficult for us to enter that room and to understand the dynamic that was at play. What I hope the audience takes away from Dark Horse is perhaps reflecting on how they interact with their friends and family, because even though Eva is very extreme, I can certainly recognize just a little bit of how she is. When you are feeling very sorry for yourself or you're overwhelmed with your own pain, it can be very difficult to keep an eye out for the ones around you. So maybe, hopefully, a reminder to keep including the others. And then also finding your own feet, your own voice. At some point in life, you need to define yourself and not have it be depending on other people. It's tricky because, human beings, we are connected. We need each other. We need each other's affirmation. But it's nice to keep an eye on also remembering yourself.